We've seen, from our point of view, recent analysis supports the fact that the European market presents some really exciting investment opportunities. I think with some key hotspots coming through, but also, interestingly, some other geographies that operators are going into, which perhaps aren't the most obvious in choice. So that's a really interesting dynamic that we're seeing there. We've seen some significant transactions as well as part of that, which again makes it an exciting landscape. I think what's clear from a demand perspective, David, is that domestic application levels to higher education are at record highs. I think according to a recent Knight Frank report, 41% of 18-year-olds applied to UK universities for the 2020 to 21 academic year. So of the 728,000 applicants, 21% were from outside of the UK. I think for 2021-22, it's fair to say that application levels are expected to rise again, making the post-pandemic demand for PBSA product really healthy in the UK, which is a great thing for us. I think also from the point of view of planning, we're seeing more applications that appear to be coming for different regions. So perhaps your more established towns, etc., and cities that you would expect, a lot of participation to be in. We're seeing a lot more number of applications going in for perhaps sort of satellite towns and areas. So I think that is supported by the fact there's a record number of higher education places available. So I think that's really interesting. Having said all of that, we're still seeing development going into these established towns with good PBSA coverage, if you like, as operators are still trying to really bring in their USP for their product and their service offerings, which again is a really interesting dynamic that we're seeing there. I think there is very much a clear move to widen portfolio footprints and build out into towns and cities still, like I said, where there's an apparent gap. I think for developers, we're also seeing schemes being completed that are sympathetic to the local area, which I really like. Whilst this is often a prerequisite for planning consents, I think we've some really good recent examples of Norwich and Bristol, where some creative approaches to this has come through. And I can see that happening for years to come. So people in the PBSA sector really should need to know that green isn't renewable. Green is different to renewable. So as a starting point, always carry out due diligence on this. Renewable power will normally track to premium, but you can confidently claim your site's power contract supports specific generation types. From a carbon and ESG reporting perspective, it needs to be renewable, not green. This term is called greenwashing, and as such, caution is needed to avoid, even with the best intentions at the core of a buying decisions. As operators look to build out sustainability strategies, we see this quite a lot, unfortunately. Really understand your starting point, what you want to achieve as a brand, and build a robust, target-driven approach that brings to life your operational net zero roadmap. Develop out a plan and validate as much as possible to ensure there are no issues in any of the positive steps you're taking to transition your assets.